Um, huh, huh, huh. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna need a bigger shelf. What's going on, everybody? S.L.B coming at you with another video review, and this time we're taking a look at Takara Tomy Transformers masterpiece MP-39 Sunstreaker. And here is the packaging. Let's go over the packaging really quickly here. We got Sunstreaker in the front there, vehicle mode, robot mode, Lamborghini Countach LP 500S, MP-39 Cybertron and Warrior Sunstreaker, words there, long life design, top of the box, masterpiece Sunstreaker. Bottom of the box, stuff and things, officially licensed by Lamborghini. This side of the packaging just have some a picture of him in robot mode. This side of the packaging, you just have him in car mode. And in the back of the packaging, you just have your obligatory product shots plus things that I can't read. And there's that. And that's it for the packaging. Let's get him out of the packaging and see what he looks like in hand. Here is Sunstreaker out of the packaging, and really quickly let's go over what's included in the packaging. You do get the obligatory collector card here, which is a very thin paper stock, which I'm not a fan of. I wish it would have been a little bit thicker. But you get some nice artwork on the front there, on the back, product shots, and tech specs, which is really cool. I love me some cards. You also get the obligatory collector coin here, which is really nice. You know, nice metal. Really no easy way to display it, but there's that. And on the back, it just has his air intakes there, which is really nice. I really love those coins. You do get the instructions as well, right here, which are pretty nice. Easy to follow. No big complaints about the instructions. But you do have all the gimmicks on this side. On the back are all the instructions on what to do and yada yada yada. And so yeah, instructions are nice. Let's see, what else has he got? He's got his flare gun here, which is pretty nice. And we'll go over more of that when we get into the vehicle mode there, but it's just great plastic, some nice molded detail there. Looks pretty good. He also does come with another blaster here. The name is escaping me at this moment, but just great plastic. And there is a way to store this in vehicle mode as well as robot mode. Not too keen on storing it in robot and vehicle mode. It's just my opinion. I mean, but there is storage for it if you wish. Also included in the packaging, you do get the alien face here from that one episode, because they always have to include something from one episode. But when I first saw the pictures, I thought this was like a soft rubber plastic, but it's actually a hard gray plastic painted this color right here with the red, orange, googly eyes, which are really nicely picked out. And the teeth are kind of picked out as well, but I'll go into more of this when we get into robot mode. Speaking of faces, he does also include two faces, a smiling and a screaming face, which are really nicely done. There you go. Also included in the packaging are replacement rear view mirrors, which are pretty cool because there's, when you transform them into robot mode, these kind of tuck in to a certain spot in the legs. So it's nice that, especially nice that they included these just in case these break on you. Yeah, it's pretty nice of them. And for the last accessory, Chip Chase. So we have Chip Chase there, and he's pretty cool. Solid plastic, no articulation. Good paint on the pants and on the jacket and on the shirt. You can kind of make out his glasses. They're not painted, but you can kind of make them out. They're pretty visible there. The wheelchair is pretty decently molded. The wheels don't move or anything, but you know, it's there. And let's just put Chip back in his chair. And for comparison, here he is with Raul, which came with MP tracks. His number is escaping me at the moment. And here we have Daniel, which came with MP10. And I'm okay with them including figures in this, but no articulation, no articulation, articulation. Can we at least get some arm articulation for Chip and get the same articulation for, you know, these figures to come out? I mean, it'd be nice to pose them a little bit. And something cool I realize you can do with Chip is if you take MP-10 here, open up the cab, Chip can sit inside MP-10. You can clearly see him right there. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I think that's groovy. You know what else I didn't try? Hold on, let's try this. Hang on, let's bring him out. Here's Roller. Can he sit in Roller? Not really. If his legs had articulation, sorry, you know, he could sit in there, but I'm not quite sure how you would get him in there, but yeah, I just figured I'd give that a shot. So let's put him back in his wheelchair, move him off to the side, and let's get into Sunstreaker here. So for vehicle mode, I've seen all the posts on Facebook and all the posts on the forums. Everybody's in love with this figure, thinks this is the best MP yet. I would kind of agree with them. I do have my little nitpicks here and there with this figure. We'll get into that when we get into everything. But he is a really cool figure. Top 5, he's maybe number 6. In my opinion, but let's get into him right now. Here is his vehicle mode, and his vehicle mode's got a lot of cool features. I think some of them are kind of needless, but that's just me. But let's get into the sculpt right here. You do have some clear plastic here for the headlights. Right here, the front looks pretty good with some nice molded detail on that front grille. Right there. And moving on to the side. Nitpick number 1. Plastic tires. I would much rather prefer rubber tires. But some nice silver paints in the rims there. Pretty nice. A little painted black detail right here, which is pretty cool. And on the back, you just have these bits right here, which are really cool because you can take our spudger here, which I'm glad I picked one of these up. This thing has been a lifesaver because the plastic on this guy, I don't know if it's the paint or if it's the tolerances, but it's once you get this figure out, every joint is super tight. Just kind of push it to the side right here, push it down. You take those and push them down right here, and you get some nice details right here, some nice painted details right here for the rear lights, which is pretty cool. I'm just going to keep this in my hand right now and just point out some things. Like right here, you got some nice painted detail right here, which is pretty cool, and that silver paint right there. And for the top, you have your fingerprint magnets, the chrome air intakes here, and the chrome spoiler right here, which again is fingerprint magnets. So that is pretty cool. So what you do, there's numerous things you can do in vehicle mode. Numerous. One cool feature is that the front section, the front hood, opens up, and you can kind of see inside. Nothing really going on there. It's mainly for transformation, but to give it the look of a Lamborghini, they kind of did that. And then you can also take our little spudger here, kind of wedge it in. There we go. Come on. He actually has working Lambo doors, which is really cool. You know, this is a cool feature. Unfortunately, you can't put a figure in there because of his legs, but it's cool that they kind of gave you this little feature to give it the look and feel of an actual Lamborghini, which is nifty, but it's just, there we go, super tight. But yeah, I think that's kind of cool. It's nice that they included it. Was it necessary? It's mainly for transformation purposes. Now in vehicle mode, it's got the look of it, but it's not a nitpick, it's just my opinion. Let's bring those back down. They click in pretty secure, really securely. As you can tell, because I was having such difficulty. Come on, there we go. All right, where do we go first from here? Let's get into comparisons. Let's do some comparisons. Getting right out of the gate here. I don't have Combiner Wars Sunstreaker, but I do have the mold, if you want to call it that. So here it is with Combiner Wars Wheeljack, which is, you know, pretty nice comparison, I think. So yeah, there's that. Let's just bring in, here we go. Let's just bring in the twin here. Twin brother to the rescue. MP Sideswipe here. And yes, I know I have a little scratch right here. But there's that. And let's just do this really quick before I get into something I need to say. And it's essentially the same car. I mean, it is essentially the same car. Same mold and same vehicle mold, I should say, and everything. They just found a different way to transform them. But I think that's pretty cool. So let's get in my one big nitpick right off the bat here. So you'll notice the windshield and all the windows are this nice cloudy plastic right here, and this is like kind of a bluish tint to it. I would have preferred if they had this on Sunstreaker here. I don't know why. It just makes everything inside, you can see it more. And it's kind of off-putting. You see these bits right here, and it's supposed to be robots in disguise. And it's not really disguised as a vehicle if you can see through there and see the hinges and everything. Yes, you can see the feet on Lambert on Sideswipe here. It's just a little off-putting in my opinion. I would prefer the dark plastic as opposed to the blue plastic, but that's just me. So other than that, I mean, it's cool in vehicle mode. For some more comparisons, here he is with MP Inferno, which I think look pretty cool together. And let's do this. So yeah. And for the coup de grace, let's do it. Let's bring him back in here. Here he is with MP-10, Masterpiece Iron, Optimus Prime. That was almost a 4-8 slip. Sorry. But there you have that comparison. Whoop. And I think that looks pretty good together. Let's kind of bring this cloth back. There we go. There we go. There's a nice comparison. So yeah. And just because I can, let's do the ultimate test for any MP car. We bring in MP-10's trailer, and the ultimate question is, can the car fit? Yes, he can. There you go. It's the same size as a Lambo. Of course it's going to fit. Anyways, moving on. So let's go over some other things you can do in vehicle mode. So for vehicle mode, you can take either of the guns here, and you can mount them up here. There's a tiny hole. It's not one of those spring-loaded holes like all the other ones have. It's just a out in the open hole. And there you go. So you can have that. Or you can take the other gun here and do the same thing. And there is a hinge on this, so you can get it a little up, but and if those don't suit you because of that one time in that one episode, you can move the spoiler out of the way here, like so. Slide it back a little bit. And there you have a little ground to air blaster right there. Because that one time in that one episode, they included that. So there's that. Now, if you don't like the air intakes on the top here, there is a way around that. Just You gotta unpeg the doors. Unpeg the doors. There we go. Bring these sections down like so. Like that. And then you take this section. There's these silver bits back here. Like I said, everything is very tight. Kind of get started by bending them there. Let's see if we can do it with the spudger. Come on, spudger, don't fail me now. There we go. You gotta get the spoiler out of the way. There we go. Kind of move that up like that. Take it, fold it in on itself like so. You want to make sure that the ground to air blaster is in this cavity right here. Right here. You want to make sure that's in there. And then fold it down. There we go. Like that. Make sure it's pegged in. There's probably a step I'm missing. But for this purpose, it works. There you go. Fold the spoiler back in itself. Bring these bits up. Bring these bits up. Everything is tight like a tiger. And peg all that back in. Make sure everything's nice and pegged in. And there you go. There you have him without his air intakes. And I think that looks pretty cool. I prefer the air intakes on the top just because of the way the figure is in the G1 cartoon and the figure has always been. But there are some people that don't like it and want this option, so there you have the option. I would have just preferred if they had made him, well, with the transformation and everything, it kind of makes sense why they did it this way and not just like a little thing that plugs on there. But here he is next to Lambor, just for the comparison purposes. Just to show you what it looks like without the air intakes. So there's that. And the one final thing I'm failing to mention about Sunstreaker here is underneath you have these two gray buttons right here. Bloop. Bloop. More headlights, which are done in a silver plastic there with some black paint behind them. But yeah, that's it for vehicle mode. Am I missing anything? I don't know. I don't think I'm missing anything. No. I think that's pretty much it for vehicle mode. So let's get him transformed into robot mode and see what he looks like in robot mode. So here is Sunstreaker in his robot mode, and this robot mode is great. It's that fine line between cartoon and toy, figure, whatever you want to call him. It's that happy medium. I think that's why this figure is doing so well. Let's get really quickly in on the details of this guy. That face sculpt is great. The nice blue eyes here really stand out against this nice silver plastic here. These nice yellow paint apps right here is really good. The proportions look great. The hands are molded really nicely. I think this is a new hand mold for Takara, which I think is great. I like the details right here in the shins. It breaks up the yellow very nicely. The feet are nicely done. You know, he stands very well, in my opinion. I think this is one of the reasons why this figure is doing so well in the market, is because he's just great in robot mode. I mean, this robot mode is really the winner, in my opinion. Let's get in on the articulation. The head is on a ball joint. It can do a full 360, but it's kind of hindered by the backpack here. You can look up pretty well. You can look down very well, especially if you get that going. The shoulders can do a full 360, and even though that there's a shoulder pad right here, you can move it out of the way to get outward bend about that much, but there's another additional joint there where you can get even more, which I think is great. There's a bicep swivel right here. It's a very tight bicep swivel. You might actually just kind of move that when you're trying to, you know, do the bicep swivel. There's a double jointed elbow, which is great. The hands can swivel very well. They're not tight at all. The fingers, on the other hand, are a little tight. These are all molded together. They can move out like that. And the thumb is even on a hinge to where you can get that out, which is really good. We'll leave the hands open for right now so we can show you the guns later on. There is a swivel in the hip, the waist swivel right here, and it's gonna catch when you get to about here with the spoiler and this butt flap here, but it's still a pretty good range of motion for the waist swivel right there. The legs, soft ratchet forwards. You can do the can. Can't go back that far because there's, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a part right here and there's a little stopper right there. So that's about as far as you can go. I don't know how well you can see that. But right there, that's where the stopping point is, which is okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. And you can get out very far as well. There is a hip swivel right here. You can get over 90-degree bend at the knee, which is really good. And the ankles, you do get a little bit of an ankle rocker right there. You can go forward pretty well. And you can go back and click. That's not that big a deal. But he's got a great stance in robot mode. It's a nice A stance there. Pretty solid. Pretty sturdy. So let's get into the accessories for robot mode here. Let's get just this out of the way. The googly face of the alien monster just slides right over, which is really good. And if you really wanted to, you can have him, I don't know how well this is going to work, but there you go. I mean, how awesome is that? That he holds his balance like that, and he's got that posability. So there's that. For the other faces, it's very simple. Just kind of lift his head up a little bit. Kind of get underneath the chin there, pop it out, and you can clearly see the ball peg there, but just take another face, slide it in, and there you go. And he's got a really nice expression on that face, very expressive. But there's that. You get the idea. I'm not going to do the other one. Let's just get the standard face in there. Okay, now for weapons. Let's get this out of the way. For storage for this little blaster, you can store it in the leg. Just take the blaster here, fold it in half, come to his leg, pop this out, pop this. There's a port right here that one of these pegs will go into, like that. Very tight. In like that, down like that, and there you have storage for that little weapon in robot mode. And it doesn't hinder any articulation whatsoever. You still have a nice ankle tilt, still have a good bend at the knee, and it stays in there very securely, which I think is top notch for this. Let's get that out. It does tend to pop off every now and then though, so be mindful of that. Okay. Like I said, everything is tight. Everything is squeezed in there. Alright, so moving on to him holding his weapons. There we go. Okay, that's what my problem was. Him holding the weapons. Very nice grip for the little blaster. We just take it, unfold it. There you go. That is a good tight grip he's got on that one. That ain't going nowhere. And the other blaster, you kind of want to have the fingers bent a little bit and then kind of position that like so. And again, a very nice tight grip he's got on that gun. That's not going anywhere either. And if you want, you can also store this blaster in robot mode. There's a peg on the back here. It's on this side only. You've got 2 slots, either here or here. So you can slide it like this or like this. The directions tell you, do it like this. So there you have that for storage for that gun, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And that's why I think this figure stands out above the rest. So let's get into some comparison, shall we? Let's bring in that Combiner Wars mold. Again, here he is next to Combiner Wars Wheeljack. And let's just bring out the rest of the MPs here. Here is his twin brother, Sideswipe. Ironhide. Right there. And MP-10. Right there. And let's just move the camera so you can see all of it. Take it all in, soak it in, drink it in. There you go. So there's that for comparison. There's that. Moving right along quickly as we can. Let's keep Inferno here. Put him in the middle. And bring in Lambor. Because I want to say this. Like I said in the beginning, he is that nice middle point between toy and cartoon. You have a very wide dynamic here of being cartoon accurate and toy accurate, if that's what you want to call it. And I think he is that nice middle margin, as you can tell here, because this is very toon accurate, and this is a lot more toy aesthetic, if you will. And I think Sunstreaker here fits that very, very well, of being both toon and toy. So that's why I think this guy is doing so well in the market. And for just one more comparison, here's Chip, Daniel, and Raoul. And there you go. That is it for that. So now some final thoughts on MP-39, sorry, Sunstreaker. Robot mode takes it, knocks it out of the park, from articulation to sculpt to detail. I mean, even the faux windshield here and everything like that looks great. The proportions are spot on. There is, again, I would have liked the black tinted windows instead of the blue tint. My opinion, your mileage may vary depending on how you like it. I like the flat gray right here. I like the gray in the forearms. Everything is painted nicely. Speaking of paint, I think they went a little thick in certain spots with the paint. I'm just loving the spudger, by the way. It's great. I talk with my hands a lot, and this is helping me. Especially in the backpack section here, which isn't that heavy. I mean, it's kind of an eyesore, but it's Sunstreaker. He's supposed to have the air intakes on the back here, so you do get a little bit of backpack. But I think the paint on the backpack bits, like this part here, I think that's a little thick, and that's why it's making the hinges and everything super tight. I do see some spots that could eventually, the paint could start chipping, especially in this section, maybe a little bit down here. Other than that, man, I think this guy is great. I'm giving him an A. He's number 6 on my top, MPs. You can't top MP-10. I'm sorry. MP Lambor is great. All of them are great, and he is up there. Top 10. Giving him top 10. So that is my review of MP-39 Sunstreaker. What did you think of the review? What did you think of the toy? Let me know in the comments section down below. Hit me up on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I do have a PayPal. Support me if you would like. If not, I'm not going to hate you. Links to everything will be in the description down below. Like this video, share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This is S.L.B, and this has been my review of Transformers MP-39 Sunstreaker, and this is S.L.B saying, my childhood hates me.